Good morning class, good morning sir. My name is Sai Garavia and my topic is Harshad Mehta. He was the biggest tax player in the year 1992 of 26 crores. Was he a hero? Was he a villain for India? No one knows. Let us talk about his some personal info. Born on 29 July 1954, Kanoli Moti. Died on 31st December 2001, Thane in a heart attack. Spouse as his wife Jyoti Mehta. Children Atur Harshad Mehta. Parents Shantilal Mehta, Rasilaben Mehta. Siblings Ashwin Mehta. Partner of his scam Sudhir Mehta and Hitesh Mehta. Let us talk about his early life. Harshad Shantilal Mehta was born on 29 July 1954 at Kanoli Moti, Rajkot district in Gujarat Jain family. He was come from very middle class family. His early childhood was spent in Borivali, where his father was a small and textile businessman and he changed many businesses. He died his early study at Janta Public School, Camp 2, a cricket enthusiast. Mehta did not show any special in school and came to Mumbai. After his schooling for studies and to find work, Mehta completed his BCom in 1976 from Lala Lajpat Rai College, Bombay, and worked a number of odd jobs for the next 8 years. And then he got interest in stock market. Jobs often related to sales, including selling hosiery, cement, and sorting diamonds. Mehta started his career as a salesperson in the Mumbai office of New India Assurance Company Limited. During this time, he got interested in the stock market and after a few days resigned and joined a brokerage firm. In the early 1980s, he moved to a lower level clerical job at a brokerage firm. Prajivan Das, Nirmada Securities, where he worked a jobber for the broker Prasanna Prajivan Das broker, who he considered his guru. He started his broking career from here. Over a period of 10 years, beginning 1980, he served in positions of increasing responsibility at a series of brokerage firms. By 1990, he had risen to a position of prominence in the Indian securities industry with the media, including popular magazines such as Business Today, taunting him as Amitabh Bachchan of the stock market. Growmore Research and Asset Management, his own company, with the finance assistance of associates when the BSE accounted a broker's card. He actively started to trade in 1986. It was a time that he began trading heavily in the shares of Associated Cement Company (ACC). The price of shares in the cement company yearly rose from 200 to nearly 9,000 due to massive spate of buying from a set of brokers including Mehta. ACC says by stating that the stock has been undervalued and the market had simply corrected when it revalued the company at a price equivalent to the cost of building a similar enterprise, the so-called replacement cost theory that he had put forward. During the time, especially 1990 to 1991, the media portrayed and heightened defied image of Mehta, calling him the big bull. His flashy lifestyle of sea-facing 15,000 square feet penthouse in the Tony area of Worli, complete with a mini golf course and swimming pool. Cars including a Toyota Corolla, Lexus LS 400 and Toyota Serra were flashed in publications. This further exemplified his image at a time when these were rarities even for the rich people of India. These cars are very expensive still nowadays. It was alleged that Mehta and associates then undertook a much broader scheme, which resulted in manipulating the rise in the Bombay Stock Exchange. The bank receipts were used in short-term bank-to-bank lending known as ready forward transactions, which Mehta formed broker. By the second half of 1991, Mehta earned the nickname of Big Bull because he have started the big bull run in the stock market. Some of the people who worked in the firm included Ketan Parikh, who later would be involved in his own replicate scam. Economic and market position before the scam. Licensing system, no permission for liberalization, privatization and globalization, government interventions in business. There were no permissions for FIIs and FDs. There was not specific act passed by CB for the parliament. Open outcry system, no circuit breakers. The instruments were used in scam. Mehta had used two instruments in the scam: ready forward deal and bank receipts. Ready forward deal, a secure short-term, typically 15-day loans from one bank to another. Bank lends against government securities. A broker usually brings together two banks for which each paid a commission. The securities and payment were delivered through the broker in the settlement process. In such settlement, the banks may not know whom they are dealing with. If bank A needs some money, he will ask the money for bank B, but Harshad Mehta will take the money. if bank A is paying 50 crore to bank B, Arshad Mehta in the time period of 15 days, he will invest all the money in stock market, and if he earns 60 crores, he will take 10 crore and give that other 50 crore to bank B. Bank receipt. In a ready forward securities were not moved back and forth in actuality. The grower, that is the seller of securities, give buyer of securities a bank receipt. Bank receipt serves three functions: confirms the sale of securities, states that the securities are held by the seller, trust for the buyer, acts as a receipt for the received money by selling bank. In this scam, Bank of Karar and Metropolitan Operating Bank had issued fake BR. Stamp paper fraud. Up to the early 90s, banks in India were not allowed to invest in the equity markets. However, they were expected to post profits and to relate certain ratio of their assets in government fixed interest bonds. Mehta cleverly squeezed capital out of banking system to address this requirement of banks and pump this money into the share market. He also promised the banks higher rate of interest while asking them to transfer the money into his personal account. Bank receipt fraud. Under the guise of buying securities from other banks, at the time a bank had to give through a broker to buy securities and forward bonds from other banks. Mehta used this money temporarily in his account to buy shares, thus hiking up demand of certain shares, dramatically selling them off, passing on a part of the proceeds to a bank and kept the rest of himself. This resulted in stocks like KCG skyrocketing to nearly 9,000 in just 3 months. Another instrument used in a big way is the bank receipt. In a ready forward deal, securities were not moved back and forth in actuality. Instead, the grower, that is seller of securities, gave the buyer the securities of BR. The BR reserves as a receipt from the selling bank and also promises that the buyer will receive the securities they have paid for at the end of the terms. Having figured this out, Mehta needed banks which could issue fake BRs or BRs not back any government securities. Other than fake BRs were issued, they were passed on the other bank and the bank in return gave money to Mehta, plainly assuming that were lending against government securities, this was not really the case. He took the price of ACC from 200 to 9,000 since he had to book profits in the end. The day he sold was the day when the market crashed. This is the impact of scam when Arshad Mehta did the bull run and when he got caught, the stock market crashed. Impact on others. Mehta had by then swindled the banks of staggering to rupees 4,000 crore. Bribery case on PV Narasimha Rao. Stay on liberalization. Holding banks of fake BR had to face losses. BR was removed by RBI. The chairman of Vijay Bank committed suicide. Regulatory actions taken against Arshad Mehta. He was later charged with 72 criminal cases and more than 600 civil action suits were filed against him. He was arrested and banished from the stock market. Mehta and his brothers were arrested by the CBI November 9, 1992 for illegally misappropriation more than 27 lakh shares of about 90 companies. Where has all the money gone? Invested in shares, a part of money went out of India, spent on bribes and kickbacks, financed the losses taken by the brokers. These are the favorite stocks of Arshad Mehta: ACC, Apollo Tyres, Reliance, Tata Iron and Steel Company, BPL, Sterlite and Videocon. Exploiting the loopholes in the system. Taking advantages of the loopholes in the banking system, Arshad and his associations triggered a securities scam diverting funds to the tune of rupees 4,000 crore from the bank to stockbrokers between April 1991 to May 1992. It triggered a rise in the Bombay Stock Exchange in the year 1992 by trading in shares at a premium across many segments. Mehta soon mastered the tricks of the trade by managing several brokers and set out on dangerous game plan. Mehta has siphoned off huge sums of money from several banks and millions of investors were pawned in this process. The 1992 scam saw the Indian market collapse completely. The stock market dropped dramatically, wiping out rupees 1 lakh crore in market capitalization. Through a special court was instituted in 1992 with the intention of enabling an efficient disposing of case. Some case regulation continues even after 28 years. As fall out of the scam, the securities and the financial system of India took a rapid reforms in its fundamental structure. SEBI was given the firepower in its monitoring of the આખી સ્લાઇડ નથી આવતી When scam came to light, over 900 criminal cases and 600 civil cases were filed against Harshad Mehta and family. Most of the criminal cases were dropped, but the civil case remains. This is Ashwin Mehta, partner of his scam. Ashwin Mehta continues to fight the cases as continued heteronomy. When Harshad Mehta died, he still fought for his cases. She Sucheta Dalal, she who caught the Harshad Mehta in the scam. On 23rd April 1992, journalist Sucheta Dalal exposed illegal methods in the column in the Times of India. Mehta was slipping illegally into banking system to finance his buy. Mehta and his brothers were arrested by the CBI on 9 November 1992 for illegally misappropriating money more than 2 million shares of about 90 companies to forget shares transfer forms. The total value of the shares misappropriation was placed as rupees 250 crore. Awards of Sucheta Dalal. Sucheta Dalal has been conferred the Padma Shri Award, the Chameli Devi Award instituted by the Media Foundation, and Feminized Woman of Substance Award for her zealous work in journalism. Conclusion. Harshad Mehta was a brave stockbroker. He knew the loopholes in the banking system as well as how to exploit that loopholes. His whole intention to do was the rise in Sensex. These are the famous line of Harshad Mehta. I don't want bouquets and don't give me big bags. This means if you can't praise me, then don't criticize me. I won't say I am a hero. Let me be who I am and I am proud of what I am. That's all. Thank you.